guys, it's Kelsey. I am here at the house. It's been a few weeks, but I actually have something to show you. There's been some progress. As you can see, they started framing the basement. So I'm going to do a really quick tour of the basement, and then I'm also going to talk about 5 ways that you can save money when you're doing new construction. So we just built a house in 2020, and I did these things back then, and I saved a lot of money, and I'm going to do these things again in hopes to save money this time around. I can already tell you the difference between 2020 and 2022 is astounding as far as pricing goes for things. So I really need to save more money now than I did back then, because everything is so expensive. So hopefully you'll find that information helpful, and as always, I would love to hear your input on things that you've done to save, because as you can see, we still have a lot to go, and I still need to save money. So anyway, let's go to the basement and I can show you around. All right, so I'm in the basement, and it's minimal framing down here. So you'll have to use your imagination, but I will try and be as descriptive as possible. Just imagine that I just came down the stairs. So I've come down the stairs. This is just a closet here. This is the main rec room, I guess you would call it. Over here, this is going to be a wet bar. So there'll be a refrigerator in this corner, cabinets on the bottom, cabinets on each side of the window, and then a bar here. This door walks out onto a pit, and this wall here, I'm gonna have a fireplace with stone to the ceiling. Over here, this is going to be built in for your TV, and then shelves on each side. I've got a window here. As you can see, I cannot have a window here. This is my patio. So I'll have light coming in through that window, light coming in through that window, and that door will be just a full pane of glass. So I'll have light from 3 sources, so I'm hoping that it'll be light enough. This way, probably my favorite room in here, this is my workout room. I've never had a true workout room. I've always had just an unfinished room in the basement, and there's been like a sump pump in there or a water heater, or you know, it's been unfinished. So this time around, I'm completely finishing this room. Like, it's gonna have sheetrock, flooring, no utilities whatsoever. So we put the sump pumps in here. So this will be a closet, like, well, we're calling it a closet, but it'll just be, there'll be a door here, and it'll just have the sump pumps in it. And I'm not sure if the water heater is gonna go in there, but at least it'll just be a way. Over here is a safe room. We do have tornadoes here, so we have the safe room. I honestly just used it for storage, but that's that. But yes, I'm very excited about this room. Like I said, it's actually pretty nice size, so I could fit some equipment in here, and I can work out. So keep going. So hallway here, this is the utility room where the HVAC, furnace, stuff like that. And it's also, you could use it for storage as well. There's plenty of room in there for that. So down the hallway, kind of have to go around here. But anyway, this is the hallway, which leads to a bathroom. Not much to see in there. A bedroom with a walk-in closet here. And then another bedroom with another walk-in closet. And that is pretty much the basement. Okay guys, so as I mentioned earlier, I was planning on talking about ways to save money when you're doing new construction. And there's about 5 things that you can do. Well, there's lots of things that you could do, but I'm going to tell you about 5 things that you can do that I have done in the past, and I'm going to do on this build to try and save as much as I can. Okay, so number 1, buy your own light fixtures. Your builder should give you an allowance for your light fixtures. Let's say it's $5,000. And you can go to a lighting store and you can probably spend that $5,000 very easily and probably go over, because light fixtures are pretty expensive if you just go to like a lighting store. So I suggest not doing that. Go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, go online, Wayfair, Overstock, eBay, Amazon, all of those stores. Find your light fixtures there. You can always go to the lighting store to get ideas. You can, write down the model. You can take pictures and do a Google search to try and find that exact one or maybe one like it. But, it's very expensive if you go to those stores. You can save a ton of money if you go online or even going to Lowe's. But I found if you want to save the most, go to eBay. Honestly, eBay is the best place to go. Now, if you do buy from eBay, bear in mind that it's very likely that that is a returned item, an open box, something. So you really have to inspect what you get. I last time didn't, it was sealed, a lot of the stuff is sealed. I figured it's good, gave it to the electrician, and he called me and he's like, yeah, there's a big dent in your fan. And it had been a few months, and so unfortunately I wasn't able to return it through eBay because too much time had passed, but I learned my lesson. If you're buying, you really need to inspect your stuff immediately, like when you get it in the mail. If there's an issue, get it taken care of. But anyway, long story short, I spent $2,000 for all the light fixtures in my house, and maybe that sounds like a lot, but there's a lot of lights in a house. I mean, you really have to think about it. And I think my allowance was like $5,000, so I saved $3,000. So number two, faucets. So same thing as your light fixtures, do the same exact thing. Go to the plumbing store to find the faucets that you like, and then try and find those same faucets or close ones that look like it at Home Depot, at Lowe's, or go, best case scenario, you find it on eBay, because eBay is going to be the cheapest. I mean, it just pretty much is every single time. But yes, you're still going to have to be wary that it's an open box item and that it could have some imperfections. So again, you want to inspect everything. Now, one thing I want to mention about plumbing fixtures, faucets, the faucets that you get from your plumbing distributor and the ones that you get at Lowe's and Home Depot, they are different. They might be the same brand, the same model, but they are truly constructed differently. And I'm actually planning on doing a video to show you the difference between those two. But if that is a concern for you and you do not want, you feel very strongly about getting the highest quality, then you are going to have to go through a plumbing distributor to get those, because the ones that you get at Lowe's and Home Depot, they aren't truly not the same. However, you can find the higher quality ones on eBay. They are going to have a different model number, but for example, I have two at home right now. I have a Moen faucet that is from a plumbing distributor, and then I have a Moen faucet that I got at Lowe's. It looks identical. The model numbers are different. The construction is different, but I got them both on eBay. So you can, you can pretty much find anything on eBay. So I'm not going to get into, which is better, what you should do. I'm just letting you know that there are two different versions of faucets, just for your information. And like I said, I do plan on making a video to go over everything about that. So, okay. Number 3, appliances. Of course, appliances are a huge expense, and your builder is going to give you an allowance on your appliances, and you're going to give him a list of, hey, I want this, this, and this, and he's going to take it to wherever he gets his appliances, and he'll probably get a 10% contractor discount or something like that, and then he buys your appliances. Well, that's great, but your builder he's not looking for the best prices for you. He's just buying what you asked him to buy. If you take the time to search for those appliances yourself, you'll find that appliances go on sale every single day, and the prices can be wildly different. Like one week, the fridge you want is on sale for $2,000. The next week, it's $3,000. So literally it can change that dramatically in a short amount of time. So my advice to you would be to narrow down the appliances that you want. Go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Best Buy, wherever you want to look for appliances. Put all of those in your cart and then wait. Wait for them to go on sale, because they will. Appliances always go on sale. They might not all go on sale at the same time though, and that's kind of the point. If you just give the list to your builder, he's going to go out and buy everything that day, and he might get some on sale, but he might not on others. So if you really want to save the most, you kind of have to just stock prices. And if you have a long time to, your appliances are one of the very last things that they put in the home. So you do have time to do this. Start early, of course, but add your appliances to all those carts of those stores, save it, check it weekly, and when stuff goes on sale, buy it. So that is my advice to save a lot of money on appliances. Number 4, landscaping. So your builder probably gives you an allowance for landscaping, and depending on where you live, that could vary. Here in Kansas, builders generally give you an allowance for sod, sprinkler, and irrigation well. And anything beyond that, trees, shrubs, all of that is sometimes part of it, but more likely than not, it isn't part of it. So there's some things in landscaping that I'm happy to do myself. I'm not going to put sprinklers in. I'm not going to lay sod down. Certainly not going to, dig a well, but I can, plant some shrubs and trees and things like that. So I wouldn't hire that out. I mean, it's very expensive to get a landscaper to come out and landscape your property. There's a lot to it. It's not just the cost of the plants and the labor to put them in the ground. You have to put down the weed control and then rocks or mulch or whatever it is that you're wanting to put down. But it's a process and it's expensive. So if you can do that part yourself, you can save a lot of money. So the last house that we had, we put down all of the weed control ourselves, and then we put down rocks. We moved in in September, so we weren't going to plant anything in September. We were going to wait, but I definitely didn't want just bare ground, because weeds will pop up overnight. And even if I just put weed barrier down, you have to put something on top of it or it will blow away. So we put the weed barrier down, we put rocks down, and we probably put 10 tons. I'm not exaggerating. It might have been more. It was insane, the amount of rocks that we put down. And if we had paid someone to do that, I can't even imagine how much it would have cost. It would have been insane. And yes, it was a lot of work. We had shovels and we shoveled it ourselves. It was a ton of work. It took weeks, but we saved a lot of money doing that. And then we didn't live there long enough to actually plant anything, but we would have planted all the shrubs and trees ourselves and saved a lot of money that way. So that's one way to save money. The last thing, and this may or may not apply to you depending on where you live, but here most builders will not paint your garage. Some builders won't even sheetrock your garage. Luckily, the builder we're using, he will sheetrock the garage. That's part of your base price of your house. But if you want it painted, that's on you. And our last house had a very large garage. It was actually 2 that were connected by a hallway, really tall ceilings. I asked the builder just hey, how much would this cost to paint? Because I didn't want to do it myself. I can't remember the number he gave me, but it was not good. So we're okay, we'll paint it ourselves. Now, I've painted so many garages in my life. However, this one was a monster in comparison to any of the others. And I was not really sure about it. But my husband was oh yeah, I can do this. He bought a paint sprayer and he did it. And he did a really good job. I was really surprised. I was kind of expecting streaks or something, I don't know. But no, it turned out amazing, honestly. And yeah, it was a lot of work, but we saved a ton of money rather than paying someone to paint the garage. And we were really happy with it. So definitely, if there's something that you can do yourself, like staining your deck or painting your garage, if you can do it yourself, then do it, because you'll save a lot of money. And you really just have to keep the mindset of everything that you have your builder do that goes into your mortgage, and I mean, you're paying for whatever that is for 30 years. So if you kind of keep that mindset, you'll be like, no, I'll buy it. So little things like cabinet hardware, I bought that. I bought some stone for one of the fireplaces. I mean, it was just like anything that I could easily buy, I just bought it. And it made the price of our house lower, and it, made our mortgage smaller, which was really the entire point. So anyway, those are my tips on how to save money on new construction. I would love to hear any tips that you have, things that you've done to help you save money, and maybe I could do that, because this home it's more expensive than we had initially hoped for, because things are just way more expensive. I knew they were going to be, but they're even more expensive than I thought. So I would love to hear your tips. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.